question when I say I was forced to do these things. They ask me if I had a gun held to my head. Yes, I did. I absolutely did. These people calling me up and getting a hold of me on the internet to threaten me and my family before Natalie died. Abso-fucking-lutely, that had a lot to do with all of my decisions. Every single one of them. When people tell me that I'm selfish, no, the fuck I'm not. I thought about you and your fucking kids first. Now, if you lied to me because you just didn't want to do nothing, you just didn't want to look, you just wanted to assume that I killed Natalie, obviously, Candace Bondurant in that situation. If you weren't really threatened and harassed, weren't really threatened with being thrown out in the snow, that I can understand. No, I can't. I can't. Because the sheer number of people, not just Candace, it was also Cara Rogers and many, many others telling me that their friends and their families are being fucking threatened. People are sending pictures of their kids with nooses around their fucking necks. And you want to pretend that I'm selfish. You want to pretend I never said nothing. You want to pretend I never tried. No, these people told me, but they didn't tell the fucking cops. These people wanted me to fix it. I didn't make those fucking people threaten Candace and her kids. I didn't make those people threaten Cara Rogers. I didn't make Tim fucking bitch boy Beeson threaten my life and the lives of my family. We're not talking about one of these assholes who's fucking threatening me from Canada. We're not talking about somebody at this point who's threatening me from fucking Mexico City. Or somebody who's threatening me from France. And yes, people threaten me from all over the place. You guys listen to the conversation with Mark, or not Mark, God, what are their names? Detective Rogers and Detective, I was going to say Hammond, but he's one of the ones in Chapel. That's another problem. There's so many fucking people. I got to try to sort through fucking 10,000 people with the same name or similar names to try to fucking, Or I gotta go, alright, which fucking detective was it? Alright, that detective was in fucking Broomfield. That detective was in Adams County Jail. That detective was like, holy shit. The problem is, right after Natalie died, when it made the most difference, when it would have made a difference, well, that's when I didn't have access to my computer. I still don't have access to that computer. They never gave it back. It was excuse after excuse after excuse why they couldn't. People pretend like I never said the good things that they did. I absolutely did, and I still do. But when they fucked up, they did fuck up. When Brandon Ratner came and got me in the fucking snow, when I went down there to get my computer, and I went to the wrong fucking department, and it started snowing, and I was broke, and I was fucking stranded. Brandon Ratner sure as fuck did show up. And I didn't pretend that he didn't show up. All these people want to throw shit in my face. Throw shit in my face later that all I needed them to do was fucking fess up to the fact that those things happened. Instead, they throw those things in my face as if I am ungrateful and never said a goddamn thing about them doing those things. But they didn't fucking speak up. Did they hold a gun to my head? They fucking did. By saying that they would fucking kill my loved ones. By threatening my little sister and Destiny. By threatening to kill my brother. By threatening to kill my mom. By threatening to kill my friends. And I saved all of that evidence. I saved it. I did my best to try to show it. Please help. There is too much of it. But these people wanted to make empty promises and treat me like shit. They got their own fucking personal goddamn drama club in the True Crime goddamn network. It's a bunch of fucking drunks and alcoholics and people who want to spend their lives judging everybody else and pretending that they're fucking perfect. I admitted where I fucked up. These people get silent. They know that if they say that they didn't do those things, that I can pop up a recording and then they're fucked. But are they really fucked? Because on many, many occasions when these people wanted to claim things happened that didn't happen, or wanted to claim I said things that I didn't, or they wanted to manipulate or twist things, well, Jesus Christ, where am I at? I had to try to trust these people because I didn't have a fucking guardian or an advocate. I still don't. Have not had one this entire time. Meg is not an advocate. She did not try to understand me and explain it to these people. Neither did Marcia Estrada. Marcia Estrada understands the PTS I'm going through. Why am I lashing out? Because I'm not getting the fucking help I need. Because I don't look disabled. I don't look like a pretty white girl, so I can't possibly be a victim. When others cry, you feel sorry for them. When I cry, you call me a pussy. When others scream at the top of their lungs for help because their lives suck that much, do you help them how they need? If they need to turn in some shit to the fucking cops, through all of this, that's what I fucking need. Someone in person so I can do it fucking safely. I'm disabled. I have no fucking rights unless you're there. It doesn't matter what fucking agency I go to. It doesn't matter if it's the Nebraska State Patrol or the Dual County Sheriff's Department or the Cheyenne County Sheriff's Department. It doesn't matter if it's the Boulder Police Department. It doesn't matter if it's Adult Protective fucking Services. None of these goddamn people are gonna do their fucking jobs unless you are fucking there. I need a guardian. A fucking advocate there and fucking present. And then there's these people, well, you never said that. Bullshit! You didn't want to fucking hear me. I've been streaming it on the goddamn internet for years because nobody wanted to fucking hear me. At least on the goddamn internet, you're not interrupting me to tell me about all of your fucking personal shit. You're also not watching it. You didn't give a fuck to look until you knew that you were on there. That's right, you didn't give a fuck to look. And then afterwards, you're only looking for the shit with your name in it, aren't you? You fucking twat. Anyway, I've had about enough people try to push me to suicide for one fucking day. I've been sitting outside of the goddamn Starbucks. I haven't even gone in to get my fucking coffee. I've been arguing with fucking assholes. Assholes who didn't do a goddamn thing. By Dan Fabert's own admission, he wouldn't even try to make a fucking police report. But also by his own admission, that shit with Layla Johnson was very fucking real. It's not that I didn't come forward, it's that nobody else did. They claimed that they would, swore up and down. And they wanted me to know all the answers. Well, Sean, who do I turn it into? I don't know. I need help with that too. I don't fucking know. I'm making all these calls by myself. When you have to make all these calls yourself, it's nobody's fucking job. When Meg made those calls with me, it made a fucking difference. When Tamara made those calls with me years ago, it made a fucking difference. But in between there, what did I have? Tamara didn't have to deal with me in this state. Meg does. Tamara quit her job. But if she hadn't quit her job, I would have gotten my developmental disability paperwork in. She would have helped me to fill it out. And I would have been able to get a guardian appointed by the state before I had to break the fucking law to try to get help. We had a plan put together so that we could stop this abuse because she knew that I wasn't going to be heard just as much as I did. Same thing with Meg. Same thing with, well, Marcia Estrada. These people all knew that I wasn't going to be heard. They all knew it. They knew that's why I fucking went to them, because I'm not being heard. They all understand the dynamics of why we don't get heard. Those of us who are disabled. A lot of these people said that they're sorry. Well, that's fine. Just speak up. Speak up about what you know. If you can't help because you don't have the time, don't tell me that you don't have the time, but not tell the police. They're going to write down whatever the fuck they want. If you're going to tell me at that point in time that you're not looking at evidence because you don't have the time, and then years down the road, you're going to tell me, oh, well, fucking, I just didn't like the way that you were talking to me. Well, I didn't talk to you that way at that point in time. I talked to you that way afterwards when you didn't do shit. It's not that I didn't try to get help. It's that it's none of these places to get help, and they need to fucking communicate that to the courts and to the American public. If they're going to tell me it's not their fucking job, but then again, how would they know it's their job or not? They listen to Natalie, whereas me, I get interrupted every other sentence to be told how I should think and how I should feel, and that I just need to man up and that I'm being a fucking pussy. Natalie pretended she was stalked. I have actually been stalked for over 6 fucking years. While she wanted to pretend I was threatening to kill her and her family, people actually were threatening to kill me and mine. Well, I had dozens of people make fake profiles and fake accounts and fake emails to fucking harass me before Natalie was fucking killed. Nobody fucking cared. While I was being fucking assaulted and having my phone slapped out of my fucking hand, Robert Warnick wasn't the first fucking person to do that. The first person to do that was in Boulder, Colorado, right behind the fucking band shell on the corner of Broadway and fucking Canyon, before Natalie was fucking killed. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. It's not that I didn't say nothing. It's that nobody fucking cared. People say, I can't do nothing. I wasn't there. Well, the people that helped out Natalie weren't fucking there either. You know why their shit made a fucking difference and yours didn't? Because they actually fucking tried. They slandered the shit out of my name. And those of you who knew that it was fucking slander said, oh, dude, it won't make any difference. You're right, it's because you never fucking tried. I do take responsibility for my part in driving Natalie to her death. I had to do desperate shit because her and her friends were driving me to mine. I lost my entire support network over those fucking lies. I didn't have positive people in my life anymore. I had Brenda fucking Dickinson in Chapel, Nebraska, or I had Leah fucking Plunkett in Englewood, Colorado. Osha was usually a pretty happy-go-lucky person, and I got to see her a couple of times, but it's because she needed a rescue. Y'all don't look at the evidence, and you don't look at the evidence, and you don't look at the evidence, and I tell you, hey, this is the slander that people are saying about me. This is their excuses for hurting me. I need you to look at the evidence that shows the truth. Instead, here we are years later, and those people are throwing the stuff in my face. They never bothered to look at the evidence or help me to make a police report or get it fucking turned into where it needed to go to. This isn't just one fucking crime that was committed. These are literally hundreds and hundreds of crimes committed against me. Layla Johnson got away with that shit because Dan Fabert helped her to do so. And in doing that, he assisted my predators in painting me as a fucking schizophrenic because I just sound like I'm crazy when I talk about Layla. A lot of these people are bitching because they didn't want their personal business out there. Well, if their personal business is affecting my personal business and the things that they promised to help me with, and their personal business is preventing me from being able to help myself, I mean, listen to the shit with Shannon Alvarado, for shit's sake. She didn't want me to call the cops during the day because she didn't want people to hear her daughter. Well, that's the only time of day that I can fucking call them that they might fucking listen. Now, the FBI, I can call their hotline at night, and they might listen. And I do try calling the cops usually at night, because that's when at least I can get a hold of dispatch and make sure that it's recorded that I tried. But it doesn't go through to an officer who does something usually. Now, here it went through to officers who were going to do something. But again, without an advocate present, which I've literally never had. I've literally not once ever had an advocate present, ever. Megan Misegatis was literally never there. She was not advocating. She was not doing the job of an advocate. There's a lot of stuff with that that's screwy. And I've had people tell me, when I tell them about Meg, about her being an advocate, and they say, well, she has to do this, this, and this. I say, no, she doesn't. She's just a volunteer. No, she's using the name advocate. There's something screwy there. You're lying to me. You're trying to hide something about it. No, dude, that's seriously how it is. She says she can't do those things because it's not her job. I got hundreds of recordings with people who, number one, in those recordings admitted I was telling the truth. And number two, in those videos, they told me their reasons for not coming forward. Most of them, it's because they were afraid of the police. Most of them are parents. Most of them were able to hide behind their kids when they did fucked up shit. Sean, you have to understand. No, I do. But it wasn't just your kids, you selfish piece of shit. You want to call me selfish? I thought about your kids. I thought about Candace's kids. I thought about Jamie's kid. I thought about Amy's kids. I thought about Rayanna's kids. I had to. I thought about Alyssa Rainwater's kid and Mandy Hughes's kids. I had to. It is because I had to think about their kids that their conversations are up there. These people got streamed at for not coming forward, for wasting my time, for bullshitting me, for lying to me, for withholding evidence. That shit with Layla Johnson needed to be fucking turned in. A lot of stuff did. And this stuff just kept on happening. And lots of people, just like Dan Faber, knew it was still happening. Dan Faber knew that the situation with Layla Johnson, yes, I was absolutely right about that. I absolutely told the truth. Is it my fault that he never made a police report or even tried? Is it my fault that Shannon Alvarado never made a police report about Kara Johnson Miles or even tried? Oh no. But I sure got their excuses. I also have the verbal and mental abuse that they put me through for asking them to tell the fucking truth. And then there's the verbal and mental abuse that they want to put me through because I told the truth. And guess what? You're goddamn right I'm going to name call. It's okay for you, ain't it? A lot of people would call me names and then whine and complain that I'm calling them names back. Are you seriously that much of a goddamn snowflake that after calling me a snowflake, you're gonna fucking whine out your mangina when I call you a snowflake back, you stupid son of a bitch? At least my dad was man enough to admit on a video that he knew he was being recorded that he did stand in the doorway in my way so I could not leave and call me a pussy. Meanwhile, this guy's had his chest cracked open to have heart surgery. If I sneeze on him wrong, he might fucking die. With my physical disabilities, yes, I could still take out my fucking dad. I chose to be nonviolent, even though my dad chose to illegally imprison me in that room and refused to let me leave. You're not fucking getting that, are you? People are a lot less honest when they know they're being recorded. You can see that these people did a 180-degree turnaround from what they had said before. Their eyewitness accounts from before are, oh, well, I don't know nothing. I didn't see nothing. Right, and see, that's why you should really go back through my YouTube, because you're recorded on there saying the very things that you're claiming are untrue now. You fucking idiots. But these people wanted to spend more time doing the exact things that push people to suicide. These people who were supposed to be helping me wanted to pull the exact shit that is the reason men commit suicide at 5 times the rate of girls, starting at the age of 15. You just need to man up. It's not my fault that Dan Faber is such a fucking pussy. He just needs to man up. He's afraid to talk to the cops because we've all been burned, is what he says. Of course we all been burned. When you have to go in alone, that's kind of how it goes. Of course, he wants to throw it in my face and be mean to me about relationships, friendships, I should say. If I say relationships, you guys automatically think horny fucking web dog trying to get some punani. Fuck it. I don't have enough money to live on for the month. I do have enough that if I'm creative, I don't know, what kind of options do I have? There's always, all right, well, my little brother Michael, his dad, Although that's not a very good idea. His dad didn't succeed. His dad didn't get the girl he wanted. Her name was Connie. So what did the Larry do? He drank liquid Drano trying to kill himself. And would have succeeded. Except he did it right in front of her. He wanted her to hurt. Oh, yeah. Just like people wanted me to hurt. Well, I know how to make you feel exactly how I feel. If I scream at the top of my lungs, you'll feel my fear. That is exactly what I'm projecting onto you. I am making sure you know exactly how I feel. I made sure Natalie knew exactly how I feel. I made sure Jamie knew exactly how I feel. I'm being abused. You don't give a shit. No, I don't feel good. I definitely and decidedly do not feel good. Now then there's always the rope option. Now I tried this one once. That would have been, well, that would have been the morning after Jamie Curtis's mom died. Her name was Jennifer. I had a plastic rope, and it was old and it was frayed, and I ended up picking pieces of that rope out of my neck for over a year. There's also, a better rope would do a better job, right? And you got to get a decent height. Now, that's another scary thing, because I don't know if you guys have ever tried it. My experience, I huffed and puffed in that tree. I was just hoping nobody was going to see me in it before I was able to get the deed done. Well, I succeeded in actually fulfilling the attempt. Needed a bigger rope, something that was not as old and frayed. I did try gassing myself out once. I got this van, and I'm going to tell you something. Like, these people said that they did good things for me. They absolutely did. Rick Martindale bought a van for me. Now, there's a guy who's in a few of my stories. His name is Tom Nelson. That van used to belong to the school in Garden County where Tom's mother was a teacher. She died of cancer a few years ago. Real nice lady. Honestly, she kind of looked like Temple Grandin. Anyway, I had that van, and that was when I realized that Amanda and them weren't gonna ever pay me like they said they were. I didn't have enough money to rent that house. They said they were gonna, well, I was actually gonna buy it. But Amanda and her mom, I told them I wouldn't be able to take care of the food for the dogs. They promised to send me $45 a month. No, it was $145 a month, sorry. But later it was changed to $45 a month, and I thought I could handle that. They figured $45 a month would be enough for the dogs to live on. They didn't ever send any money. After 4 or 5 months, they kept on telling me, oh, well, we'll get you all caught up. We'll get you all caught up. Well, they didn't. Anyway, I realized I wasn't going to be able to keep the house. At that point in time, there was a situation with Jamie, and she was going to drop her son off. It was really important. I mean, it turned out later that the whole situation was as a result of her playing some people, and really should have never had nothing to do with me, but Jamie's a player. I needed her to stop fucking with my head. If a man does that, a woman will go, oh, well, he's playing head games with me. He's playing head games with me. When a woman does it, a woman should be allowed to change her mind. So should a man. Jamie was only interested in me when I told her no. If I showed any interest, she wasn't interested in me. And I only ever showed interest in her because she was, well, as Mike Vernon put it, he said, she's shooting her pussy out of a cannon at you. Well, I don't know that. And, he was right. Later on, she'd tell me stuff like, oh, well, Sean, when I was tickling you, that means that you're supposed to, want to have sex. Or she'd tell me, well, Sean, when I came out and kissed you on the forehead and said I was going to bed, that meant you were supposed to come in and fuck me. No, really? Because I'm pretty sure that if I tried to fuck some of the women who kissed me on the forehead, they would beat the living shit out of me. So how am I supposed to tell which is which? And in the meantime, I never wanted Jamie to begin with. I mean, just like with Natalie, I thought of her as a little kid. Even when she was a grown adult, it's tough to not think of them as little kids. I mean, when I see them little kids out there smoking cigarettes, and they're like, dude, I'm fucking 21. All right. My bad. It didn't matter how much evidence I had if there wasn't someone to look at it and help me turn it in, parent or a guardian. When your child is autistic, you can't just throw them out into the world with nothing. They're not going to thrive. I started off in a worse position than almost everyone I know. But you know what? There's still people I know who started off in worse. That doesn't make what happened to me okay. Somebody has it worse. That's like things are always worse elsewhere. You know what? Things being worse elsewhere is a horrible excuse for looking away from the horrible shit here. Just because they would have put a woman in a tire and chopped her up into little bits and pieces and lit it on fire while she's still alive after raping her doesn't mean that it's okay to rape people in the United States. I want you guys to, all of the shit that you're telling me, I want you to apply that to rape. Because apparently when I try to explain to you that people are dead, you're incapable of applying that logic to dead people, but you want to apply that logic to cursing. Dead people are fine. It's okay that people are dead. It's okay that these people were shot in the head. It's not okay for you to curse, Sean. So, of course, then there's the by cop method. No, I don't want to do that. See, here's the thing, is that people went out of their way to paraphrase what I was saying. I was never allowed to defend myself. They wanted to twist my words into pretending I said something I didn't. And even today, even after I've shown overwhelming evidence that I'm telling the truth, nobody bothered to help share it. Nobody bothered to help turn it in. I had to make those efforts myself. The only person to actually make an effort through any of this, like an actual effort, was Megan Misigatis. The cops I was trying to turn in since 2018 did exactly the same thing that they'd been doing for years. They antagonized me and then locked me up for reacting to the antagonization. But when we're talking about antagonization like people threatening to kill my fucking family, People coming out into the street and threatening to shoot me in the head just because I fucking exist and they heard a goddamn rumor. Shit, Robert Warnick couldn't even keep the same fucking rumor in his head as he was so fucking drunk. But at the same time, I gotta take those fucking threats seriously. Just because you won't fucking look at them and don't fucking care doesn't mean that they're not there for you to look at. Now then there's the folks that are pissed off that I don't post up every single fucking goddamn threat. Well, there's stuff a little bit more important than every single threat. I got the important threats recorded from the people who are involved in the situation. The important stuff from Ted Bollinger, that's pretty important. That's Natalie's dad. That's a lot more important than that goddamn wingnut up there in Nova Scotia threatening to kill me. And then she had her friend get a hold of me and accuse me of stalking her. And then I'm pretty sure it's probably the same woman. She's the one who wanted to threaten to cut off my balls and slit my throat and shit. I'm pretty sure she's the woman who is recorded in that phone call. What is it? Law enforcement at its finest. I encourage all of you to watch that video because the stuff that people are pretending didn't happen and that I am schizophrenic for saying, there's examples, literally examples of all of those things while I'm recording that. And that was the first time that I tried to sit down and record on video for all of you the conversation with Tara Smith about how it's not their fault, they didn't do nothing, it's not their jobs. Through all of this, they knew that I couldn't send the evidence through the internet without assistance in doing so. When they found that out, they made sure that that's the only way they would allow me to do it. The only time they really wanted to see me in person, like Tara Smith, the only reason she showed up, it's not because of what Meg wants to pretend. Meg wants to pretend that Tara Smith showed up because she was going to investigate. No, Tara Smith showed up because I gave her the impression that I was going to sign over the rights to my fucking disability check to Adult Protective Services. That's what I had to do to get Tara Smith there. So that I could get Tara Smith, first of all, to hopefully this time look at evidence. She didn't. She turned it off. She made sure that she didn't see evidence. She went out of her way not to see or hear anything of actual evidence. So in the phone call, Law Enforcement at its finest, you get to see examples of people calling me up with those prank phone calls. You get to see people getting a hold of me over and over again with restricted numbers, over and over again. And then the cops tell me not to answer the phone. Just don't answer the phone. Well, here's the thing. Nebraska State Patrol or any of these other organizations might call me from a restricted number. What's their advice in that case? Well, you need to pick up the phone. How the fuck can I tell the difference between you and that cunt from Nova Scotia? Well, unlike you idiots, that cunt from Nova Scotia used a phone number that said that she was from Nova Scotia and it actually said the number. Of course, nobody fucking cares. They don't care about the harassment on the internet or the harassment in real life. When I try to tell them about the harassment in real life, they say we can't do nothing about it on the internet. Holy shit. Like, these people go out of their way to play stupid. And then when I say they're playing stupid, then they go out of their way to play stupid and victim. So then I talk about them playing stupid and victim, and next thing I know, well, you're slandering me. No, I got evidence of it. It's not slander if it come out of your mouth. Now, there's also the choking on something. You can, even in prison, you can choke to death on a roll of toilet paper or less. You can choke to death on your own hair, or on a part of the clothing, or on the suicide blanket. That's right, I made rope out of the suicide smock. They put me in suicide watch because I was trying to tell on my abusers. And then I made ropes out of their suicide smock. Don't fuck with me. Well, they get to fuck with you because there's no body cameras in that place. There's no audio recording. They can say whatever they want and then tell whoever else whatever they want. Their friends help them to get away with those crimes daily. They all take part in these things, and some more than others. There's no civilian oversight. Just like with the cops, what I needed was civilian oversight. That's the thing about not having a guardian. And these people all tell me that I got to get one. I can't. I can't. I've been fucking trying. Christ. When you're called mentally ill, if you're disabled and you don't have a fucking guardian, you're fucked. If you don't have an advocate, you're fucked. If you have a guardian, they're supposed to advocate for you. They're supposed to take over the job of your fucking parents, basically. Yes, at-risk adults need help. Yes, autism is a developmental disability. And yes, I get angry too. These people are allowed to get angry at me, but I'm not allowed to get angry at them. They're allowed to scream and shout, but I'm not. If they scream and shout because they're pissed off I told the truth, you make every excuse why it's okay for them. But when I scream and shout because I'm being fucking abused and can't get help, magically that justifies abusing me and not helping me? No, I started off nicely. I didn't make Dan Favorite a piece of shit. If he wasn't a piece of shit, he wouldn't have helped Layla Johnson get away with her bullshit. He knew it was happening. He knew it was going on. Thank goodness. And the message is from him today. He admitted he knew it was going on. And he admitted he didn't go to the cops. He admitted he didn't make a police report. You say, Sean, you shouldn't have done this and you shouldn't have done that. Well, if you'd have made a fucking police report, but did you? You didn't even fucking try. You didn't even fucking try. And that's the point. I needed somebody who was going to try that. Sarah Bacon said that she'd try that, but then all she wanted to talk about doing is hurting people. Candace Bondurant said that she'd try that, but all she wanted to do was talking about fucking shooting people. The difference between the two is that I recorded Sarah Bacon. Candace Bondurant, after the bullshit that she fucking pulled, she's been smart enough never to talk to me again. She's the worst friend I've ever had. You can't have a worse friend than Candace Bondurant. Your best friend is fucking your wife. He's still a better friend than Candace Bondurant.